Morning all. It's a really cold morning this morning, but nice. I thought I'd actually just show you a basic setup of legs and cleats. There's been lots of talk, and I've been asked again over a period of time how to do it and how I set them up. So, I mean, what I'm going to say is not you know, the truth of all things. It's how I set them up. It's a personal thing, and there is a basic way of setting them up, and then you know you can adjust it to yourself. So what I'm going to show is just how I set mine up, and then hopefully that'll help anybody that's got problems with numb feet and things like that, because that just should not happen. You know, the setup is wrong if you've got numb feet. So I've got two here. I've got my ice, which is adjustable seat, and the green speed, which is a fixed seat. And as you can see, the cranks are higher on the green speed than they are on the ice. So yeah, so I'll try and sort of explain how I set mine up. Now the strange thing is, everybody's feet are not the same. Some people have got thicker feet on one side and thinner feet on the other side. Some people have got a slightly longer leg than others. So it's best to actually go with what they call your leading foot, the one you use, that you feel like you should use, whether it's right or left. For instance, my right foot is thicker than my other foot, so I have, you know, so I adjust it that way. So what I'm going to do now is do the leg length. Set up the crank so it's the furthest out. Put your backside right into the seat. Push it right back into the seat as far as it'll go. Put your heel on the pedal, not your foot. Now what happens is you should just have a little bit of a bounce there. It should just pop straight, but not feel right. It shouldn't, you know, it shouldn't feel right. So that would be the position that feels the best. Just a little bend. That has got pressure on it. Okay, and that's pushing me back into the seat. Now, basically what happens is when you're pedalling, you don't remain with your backside deep into the seat. You use your sort of lower back to push. So that gives you an even more of a bend in your leg. So that's what you've got to watch out for, is once you've got your foot in the cleat, like that, you'll find that there is a bigger bend in your knee. And that usually gives you the right setup. And then you can sort of adjust it to suit yourself, really. So that's the basic way I've done it. That's every one of my trikes is set up in that particular way. Now on my green speed, which has the fixed seat, the seat position cannot be changed, then it's exactly the same setup. I push my backside right into the seat and then put my heel on the bottom, and again there's just that little bit of a bounce in my knee, a little bit of pressure there. So that's without pressure. That's my knee position without pressure, and that's the leg fully in with the heel on the cleat. So that means the knee isn't fully extended. You should never adjust it so it's weak when your leg's straight, because when you're pedaling you're extending this, you'll be pulling the knee itself, and that will give you a lot of pain after a while, because you'll be throwing your knee forward all the time. So you should always have that little bend. And again, once you put your foot in the cleat, which I can't do, there you go, once you put your foot in the cleat, you'll find that there's more of a bend again than there was when you set it up with the heel. So that gives you that safety margin. But again, when you're pedaling, you don't use the small of your bottom right into the seat when you're pedaling. You use your back. If you sort of pedal and feel your back where the pressure is, you'll find it's at the lower back, just below the buttocks, that is the pressure. You're not actually sitting in the seat sometimes, you're lifting out the seat off your backside with the pressure going up a hill or something, and that's going straight through your muscles, which is great. That's how it should be. If you're moving in your seat backwards and forwards when you're pedaling, that's incorrect. You've got it set up wrong, and you shouldn't be doing that. Seat adjustment. Again, that's sort of a personal choice. And when I first got my trikes, I rode with the adjustment with the seat right up, and after time, by just trying different different settings, I came with one notch down. Anything further, and then my neck started to hurt, and I couldn't set up my thighs correctly in line with the pedals. So the optimal one for me was the second one down. I'm about 6'1" in height, and also, like I said, it was hurting my neck to be any lower down, and to be higher up I found again it a little bit too restricting on the stomach muscles, so laying it down I'm a little bit flatter. And it's about the same, I don't know if you can see that, on the fixed seat. The way I've got that set up is exactly the same sort of dimension as the actual green speed seat. They're about roughly the same. So basically when I get off of this bike and get on that one, it's exactly the same. And it's the same with all my trikes. I can get on each trike and there's no difference whatsoever in the setup, and you can't tell the difference, and I can pedal away for miles on them without any pain in my feet or my knees. Okay, you get tired, your muscles ache and whatever, but I don't get no pain in my joints or anything. Now, the one thing I am passionate about, because I've learnt the hard way, and that is Cleat Setup. When I first started, like probably most people, they get off a bike and get on a trike and leave the cleats in exactly the same position, which is on the ball of the foot. You push down. Some people just have it just slightly before the ball, not quite on top, but most people have it on the ball, and that's how, because you're pushing down vertically. On a trike you're not really pushing down vertically. There's a difference in the muscles you're using, same muscles, but they're just a different angle. We'll get more on that later. But cleats, as you can see, this one, I have mine quite the way back, and I set all my boots up exactly the same. What I do is lay them. I don't know if I can do it with one hand. It's the heel that's the important thing. So if you can get the heels together like that, the cleats should be in exactly the same position on every boot. It's the heel you're interested in, not the front. It's the heel. So it's push your foot back in, get that right back on, and you'll find that my cleats are in all of exactly the same position no matter what shoe I wear. To give you some idea, I think you can see the slots. The front of the slot on these is roughly where my thumb is the ball of my foot. Now I've got the cleats back quite a way. I did start off with them right back, but that didn't suit me. Like I say, there's no right or wrong way, but there is a fact that you put your cleats back on shoes. It just less pressure on your knees and everything, and your feet will not go numb. If they're going numb, there's something drastically wrong with your setup. Like I say, I push mine back a fair way. I think that's about an inch or so back, and then I brought them forward bit by bit until it felt right. And that's a lot of this, is if it feels right. If it feels right and you're listening to your body, it's usually right. If you're not feeling right, it's wrong. It's as simple as that, really. As you can see on the green speed, it's far higher above my hips than it is on the ice, and that really makes no difference as long as you've got the leg position right and your cleats right, and it lets the blood flow and your muscles are at the right angle to the seat, and you know, that's it. It's a flow. Your body will do it. If you've got it set up wrong, the angles are wrong, and your body will complain. It's as simple as that. I can't stress that any further. But the minute adjustment is all your own. Like I said when I began, there is a basic way to lay them out. Plus, an important thing is, once you've got your bike basically set out in a position that feels quite right for you, then leave it. Don't keep adjusting it, because you've got to let your body adjust to it once you've adjusted all this. So you've got to go out on some long runs, feel what your body's doing, and then you just leave it. You know, do quite a lot of miles, and you'll find that your body will get into it. If it's set up right, then your body will get into it, because it'll be readjusting itself from all the muscles that you have been using incorrectly to the way you're using them correctly when it's set up properly. So bear with it, give it time, don't give up on it. There are lots and lots of second-hand trikes where people get them and they just go into a brick wall with it. They start pulling their legs, they can't do it, and they just sell them, and which is great really, because you get some really good second-hand trikes. But it's a shame, because if they'd have persevered and set it upright in the first place, it wouldn't have been a problem. And as I said at the beginning, everybody's feet and leg lengths are different. They're not the same. It's like one ear's higher than the other as a rule. But you can buy different things to help you. There are attachments to make the cranks wider apart. You can get shorter cranks. The two guys I ride with, Adrian and Barry, they both have short cranks. And that helps their knees, takes the pressure off. But I can't spin, I can't move my legs that fast, so it doesn't do me any good. But I prefer a longer crank. In fact, on my bikes I extended cranks. They were even longer. They're 175s instead of the normal 170s. But again, you know, once you've got it basically set out and it's all feeling quite right, but it's not, you know, then you can get the shorter cranks and try them. But let your body settle, you know, get into it and get some mileage in, and then you can refine what pains you got, you know, what is not fatigue, for instance, because it takes you a good year. I say it's a good year. If you've never ridden them, you get your first one, it takes you a good year to what I call getting your trike legs. All your muscles are in right, or, you know, they're recognising the position, and you know, they're at ease, and they've built themselves up, and the muscles in the knees and across the top, the tendons have all sort of got used to that position, because it is a different position than a bike. You can't get over that. Anyway, that's about it. I can't think of anything else to say, but I am quite passionate about setting these up, because I went through a lot of pain in the beginning myself, you know, until I got it right. And I can sit on these bikes and do hundreds of miles. We did 50 odd miles yesterday, and during the winter we don't do as many miles, so I'm a little bit fatigued, my muscles ache, but I've got no pain in my joints or my tendons or my ankles or anything. My feet don't go numb. So, you know, it really is in the setup to enjoy your trike. My last comment is really, if you've got a good dealer, I mean, they know all about this, especially if they've been riding them themselves. And also ask other trike riders that have been riding a long time, because they've gone through it as well. And ask the dealer to look at it the way you're sitting in it, and he can probably help you out, because you know, sometimes just by looking at someone, you know it's wrong the way their body's moving. I mean, you can sit behind some people on trikes and you can see their whole body swaying from side to side. And basically, when I'm on a trike, I don't move. The only thing that is moving is my legs. Everything else is relaxed and it's not moving. I'm not swaying or anything. You know, my arms are relaxed. The only thing that's working is my legs. And that's how it should be. Anyway, I really do hope this helps. Any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Okay, thanks.